The longer you fawn, the more your brain starts to accept smallness as your default setting. Right. So yesterday we talked about cognitive dissonance. All right. This is when, why we stay in places we already know aren't right for us. If you didn't see that video yesterday, I highly encourage you to go back to my page and check it out. But today I want to talk about what happens to you while you're still there, because I think that's important to kind of break down. Because here's what most people don't realize: when we stay somewhere that doesn't fully accept us, okay? Like the job, like the relationship, like the different friends group, the classroom. Well, we don't just stay mentally, we start adjusting physically. And this is what I mean by that. Like we make ourselves smaller, we speak quieter, we take up less space, we laugh at things that aren't funny, okay? And we agree with things that we really don't believe. We essentially shrink and we tell ourselves, I'm just being professional, right? I'm just keeping the peace. Sounds familiar? I'm just picking my battles. And if you get to that point, then honey, you stay too long. But behavioral science has a name for this because we have to name the problem and the issue. And it's called the fawn response. Write that down. It's one of four survival responses your nervous system activates when it detects a threat. So you heard the fight, flight, and freeze, but have you heard and fawn? Fawning is when your nervous system decides the safest way to survive this environment is essentially to become whatever it needs you to be: agreeable, small, unthreatening. And here's what makes it so dangerous: it's automatic. You don't decide to shrink. Your nervous system decides for you. Okay. So you walk out of that meeting wondering, why didn't you speak up? You leave the conversation wondering why you agreed with something you really didn't believe. You finish that interaction feeling like you disappeared inside of it. That's not weakness. I'm always going to affirm you and tell you that. That's your nervous system trying to protect you in an environment it has learned isn't safe. Here's what the research also shows: the longer you fawn, the more your brain starts to accept smallness as your default setting. Did you hear me? The longer you fawn, the more your brain starts to accept smallness as your default setting. And that's the real cost. Not just the meeting you stayed quiet in, not just the relationship you kept the peace in, but the version of yourself you slowly stopped showing up as. You were never supposed to be this small. Remember that. And I could do a part three if you like. Put it in the comments if you want to continue this conversation. Engage, like, follow. This is psychoeducational coaching. I'm just giving you science that you can actually use to change your life. Have a great day.